What's going on, guys, and welcome back to a brand new video here on my channel. And today we are finally doing a full record collection video, so let's get on with it. So the way I'm going to do this, I'm just going to take you through my entire collection, all of the albums I have, all of the singles I have as well, every single record I own, talk to you a little bit about them as I go along. Just for the people that aren't really interested in hearing about every record, I've sorted it out. If you hover your mouse over the bottom, you should be able to see different categories. If there's a particular artist you want to see, go and hover over the little thing at the bottom and find the artist. It's gonna be a long one, so grab yourself a drink. I've got a bloody lovely brew over here and enjoy. Starting off with we have ABBA, Waterloo. This is just a standard press-in. Haven't opened it, never listened to it, but I bought this as a gift. But I love a bit of ABBA, and the reason I haven't listened to that is because I have this ABBA Gold. This is most of their hit singles on this. This was a HMV Record Store Day exclusive on Delicious Gold vinyl. And this always reminds me, I used to work in a hospital radio station. They used to have a little like quiz section, and I was there maybe like a full year, I want to say. The gift was always ABBA Gold on CD. No one ever called in until my very last day there. Someone called in, got the right answer, and we delivered it to them, and they said, "Oh yeah, I've been listening to you every week. I hear about your little joke about ABBA Gold giving it away." Next up, we have one of my all-time favourite artists, Amy Winehouse, and her album Frank. This is another one that came out on the same HMV Record Store Day. Love Frank as an album. I wonder if it might be my favourite album of hers. And this is on this pink vinyl, really nice colour, and it's all on one side of vinyl, which if you have been following me a while, you know I love it when an album is just on one side of vinyl. Hi, future Ollie here. I actually have a couple of pickups since this video, would you believe? So I'm going to interject here and there and give you the pickups. We've got this Amy Winehouse picture disc of Back to Black. This was a National Album Day exclusive, which was last week as this video came out. Just a standard picture disc of the cover of Back to Black, and then on the back you've got a picture of Amy in the bath. Obviously such a well-known album, and yeah, I couldn't not own this one, especially on this sick picture disc. So on the same lines, on I think the same Record Store Day, or maybe a different one, I can't remember, got this Amy Winehouse Lioness Hidden Treasures. This is her posthumous release. Another great album of hers. What an incredible singer. And this is on turquoise vinyl. Yeah, this one doesn't really show up until you shine light through it. It's a lot better in person. And continuing that, actually, we have this beauty, which is Amy Winehouse live at the BBC. It's a mix of different live versions she did throughout her career. This is just on black vinyl, but it actually folds out into 3 as well, which is so nice. Do you know one thing that's annoying about this though? It's slightly longer than another record. See there? Actually following that, there's one from this year's Record Store Day. Amy Winehouse, the remixes, the most famous remixes of her songs. You Know I'm No Good, Ghostface Killer on there. Rehab, there's a version with Jay-Z. This is on blue vinyl there, yellow as well, and that yellow is beautiful. One thing I've realised looking through all of these is the packaging and the artwork and the photos and stuff are so nice. Next up, we got a new artist, well, relatively new, that I love. That is Anderson .Paak and Oxnard. One album that I got not long after I got back into record collecting. It's on this lovely red vinyl, proper bold, almost like lipstick red. Following that up, we have Ventura as well. Probably 2019, I'd say this is probably my most listened to album. You could literally play it on any occasion. From the very first listen, I was like, I've just got to get this on vinyl. And because it came from America, I knew it was going to cost an amount. In the end, I'm so glad I did. And it is on this lovely cream coloured vinyl. Almost looks like the colour of something I don't want to mention, but obviously he's got the album with Bruno Mars coming out as well, and I'm hoping there's some sweet vinyl for that as well. That is undoubtedly going to be one of the best albums of this year. Next up, we have, it might not be an all-time classic, but I think it's his best work, and that is Long Live ASAP. Got this actually on eBay. It's on this like translucent orange. Okay, so moving on to B now, Beyonce and Lemonade. This is the most basic bitch album I own, I'd say, but it is really good. You just can't deny it. It is on yellow vinyl, really nice, solid yellow vinyl. Probably one I haven't listened to a whole lot actually. It's just one that I think I felt like I had to have in the collection. Yeah, she is fantastic, and this album is also fantastic. Next up, we're going Notorious B.I.G. First up, I Love It When You Call Me Big Papa. This is just a single on white vinyl. Bang. Really nice crispy white vinyl. Saw this in my local record store and I was like, do you know what, I'm just gonna have to get that. Next up, we got one personal favorite of mine. It is the Notorious B.I.G. It Was All a Dream box set. This is an exclusive for Record Store Day 2020 in this little case as well. 1414. This is essentially all of his albums on vinyl. Packaging is so nice. Ready to Die, in my opinion, a classic. Life After Death, Born Again, and of course Junior Mafia, and they are all on these really nice clear vinyl. This is what it looks like. It's really clear, and it's really cool to own all of his in like a collector style like this. When I saw it come out on Record Store Day 2020, it was a must-have. So yeah, if you want to watch that video, it's listed up here. Next up, we have another copy of Notorious B.I.G. Ready to Die. Got this one from America. I knew about this before I went to America. Let's order it to the hotel, which is what we did. Two different vinyl, this like splatter variant, super sick, white with the red splatters, the red with the black splatters, really cool as well. This is the main one that I actually listened to because I don't want to ruin that collector's edition. Continuing with Biggie, we have the duets. Yeah, saw this came out this year's Record Store Day and I was like, I just have to get that. It is on this, it's like a really dark red color. I had to get it to complete my Notorious B.I.G. collection. Next up, we've got one of my new favorite artists, and I think the same with a lot of people as well. This is Billie Eilish, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? Love this album so much. I think it was amazing. This is also one of my favorite vinyls because Glow in the Dark. This is so sick, and that I saw there was a number of different pressings that came out at the time. I was just like, Glow in the Dark, I've got to get that, and I'm so glad I did. And continuing with some Billie, we've got Happier Than Ever, her latest album. To be honest, I haven't had a chance to properly listen to this one yet. I really like her, and I just know that from now on I'm probably gonna like almost anything she does. This is the indie exclusives colorway, brown color, which I thought looks really nice. Really nice, like dark brown, goes with the album really nicely. What I have heard, I'm really enjoying so far, and yeah, I love this vinyl as well. Okay, so on to C now. Calvin Harris and Funk Wave Bounces, an album I just really like this from him. I think it was a cool switch up of direction. I think you've actually seen now this had quite a lot of influence in music. So I'm playing that black vinyl, but you can see he got the signature there, which is my second Calvin Harris signed memorabilia. I'd like to get 18 Months on vinyl actually. I love that album as well. Next up, we got Celeste and Not Your Muse. This is the alternative track listing edition. This is a lovely colour vinyl. This is the only colour vinyl she was doing at the time. I don't know if she's done any since then. And I haven't actually really listened to this too much, to be fair. Just really nice coloured pressing. Next up, we got one that I was probably just casually got at the time, but since the price has gone up loads, with that in mind, I'm really glad I got the following two. Acid Rap by Chance the Rapper, personal classic. I just really love this album, and yeah, you can see it's this like almost trippy purple color vinyl. I probably paid about £50 including shipping, and there was a point where this is going for like over £100 easy. And continuing with Chance, we have Colouring Book as well, and it's on this like orangey red vinyl, as you can see there. Next up, we have In My Eyes. I think this is a classic dance music album by two of my favorite artists of all time, Chase and Status Status and No More Idols. So unbelievably influential. This was a Record Store Day exclusive back in 2019. I actually didn't get it at my local record store. My dad bought it for me a couple of days later on eBay. But it's this lovely yellow vinyl. Next up we got Brand New Machine. When I bought this, I think I was under the illusion that this would be the entire album, and it's actually only 4 songs there. Even so, still love this album, and it just reminds me of going to see them for the first time at the O2 in concert with my mates, being about 15 at the time, and just being like, what the hell is going on? This is mental. Such an important album to me, one I'll never ever get rid of. What's sick is that I also have their album Turn to Jungle, and it is signed by Chase and Status. So yeah, so pleased to have this. Next up we have one of the most unbelievable switches of genres that I've ever seen. Childish Gambino's Awaken My Love. It is a box set, and there's some of these booklets. It just has like incredible artwork in it, and then you have the vinyl, which is this lovely black vinyl, and then they also come with these augmented reality glasses, which I've not been able to use unfortunately because VR experience actually got cancelled, so I've never been able to use them. Yeah, this one was so sick. Next up we have, a lot of people would consider this a classic. We have the first ever album from Coldplay, Parachutes. 20 years old last year, which is mad to me. And it was on this lovely yellow vinyl. Really, really nice. And next up we have Adventure of a Lifetime. This was on pink vinyl, which is a really nice pink translucent vinyl. And the other vinyl is blue, which is also really cool. Next up is one album that I never listened to on release. I've grown to love it so much, and this is Czarface, Every Hero Needs a Villain. And yeah, I saw this came out on Newbury. I was like, do you know what, I'm gonna give that a go. So I got it, and it is this beautiful splatter pressing. They've picked perfect colours for this one. It really pops, and it's like the album artwork, it almost looks cartoony. Noir, which came out on Record Store Day this year. This is so sick because it's actually a comic book and an album, so it's got this whole comic book story which I'm yet to read, just on black vinyl, and this is all instrumental as well. I think the idea is you're meant to read the comic along with the album. Next up we've got D, which could be my largest segment in this video. Daft Punk and Homework. Daft Punk retired this year, which I think is so sad. You know what, I'm gonna have to buy all of their work on vinyl, so I haven't got it all yet. Yeah, just on standard black vinyl. The one thing I will say, which is really annoying, is that the little thing here is like the wrong way round. Next up we have Random Access Memories. It has to be one of my favorite albums of all time, particularly the song Touch, one of my favorite songs of all time. And look at this as well. Look at that. I've always held out because one day, and I will own this one day, the unbelievable box set they did for this album, which is now worth like thousands, like $2,000. One day I will own that. Next up we got Dan Kroll and Sweet Disarray. So you might not know of this guy. He is like an indie artist, I want to say. It's a sweet album, just really, there isn't really anything about it you can dislike, and there's a couple of songs in there that just remind me of being at school and certain people at school and stuff, which I love. Next up we have Denzel Curry. Starting off we've got Imperial. This one is I think his first ever album, and I saw this version come out and I was like, I'm gonna have to get that. I think this is within my top 5 favorite variants. Look at this, crazy silver, like splatter, like smoke effect. This is so nice. After that is Taboo. People love this album. This vinyl is amazing, like this red splatter effect, so nice. Everyone loves this on TikTok. Everyone always comments about how much they love it. Following that we have Zoo, another great album from his. Literally the consistency of his projects is unreal, and this is on orange vinyl, as you can see here. Really nice bright orange vinyl. The next year he follows it up with Kenny Beats and Unlocked. Instrumentals on here are by far my favorite part of this. This is actually a picture disc, the first picture disc of this video. A super sick picture disc of the artwork, looks unbelievably good. Overall, great project and such a cool vinyl to have as well. Next up, we got Disclosure. We have a few of their vinyl from Settle. They did a series of singles from that album. These were the very first vinyl albums I ever got. Christmas 2015. We have Help Me Lose My Mind, F for You, You and Me, and remixes of You and Me as well. These have gone up a lot in value as well. And I'm waiting for Settle to be re-released on some kind of cool color variant. They haven't done it yet, but I definitely think that is one to watch out for within the next couple of years. Next up, we have Energy by Disclosure as well, and this is made out of recycled vinyl as well, which a lot of people say doesn't sound as good, but I think it looks really nice. And the other side is this lavender color, really nice. Next up, we got a UK classic, Boy in the Corner by Dizzy Rascal. I was just looking at different vinyls that I knew I wanted to add to my collection. I saw that this came out in 2011, and I saw someone on Discogs had it for sale, and it's on this translucent yellow to match the album. Next up, we have E3AF by Dizzy as well. His latest album, to be honest, haven't listened to this much at all. It was a Christmas gift last year. You can see it's signed by Dizzy there, and also Rob Jones TV, who funnily enough we kind of know. Cool artwork, haven't really listened to it. Next, we have one album that was so popular from last year, and that is Dua Lipa, Future Nostalgia. We have this lovely pink variant, clear pink variant. There's been like 20,000 variants of this vinyl since then. Next up, we have another one of my first vinyl pickups, again back in 2015, Duck Sauce. I remember like being like 16 at the time, just being like, this is bloody great. Something about it stood out to me that I just couldn't put my finger on. So yeah, here we go. Orange vinyl, really nice. Next up, we have Dr. Dre 2001, just on plain black vinyl, and this is one where I went to my record store and I was like, I just need to pick up a vinyl because I just got my record player. Went there and I got this. It actually is worth quite a bit of money as well. Absolute classic. Next up, we have Take Care. A lot of people might be surprised because obviously you guys know that new Drake I hate. I love old Drake. This is a classic. Yeah, had to have it on vinyl as well, so got this one on eBay. Plain black vinyl, simple, effective, lovely. My favorite Drake album of all time, if you're reading this. This is the Drake I love, the Drake that actually changed the game. I have a little bit of a personal connection with this vinyl. Yeah, I love this so much. And finally, of the D's, we have Duran Jones and the Indications, American Love Call. I saw this version came out on Rough Trade. It's on this nice purple vinyl. Really nice when you hold it up to the light as well. We only have one E, Eminem, the Slim Shady LP, an absolute classic album. I can't remember where I got this, what the name of the place was. It was one of those like fan merch site, and I'm pretty sure this is a bootleg. This is on, it's like a really dark purple vinyl. Onto F, and we have to start with Fleetwood Mac and Rumours. I can't remember where this pressing was. I think it was a UK pressing, an early UK pressing, but it's got this nice textured cover, and the vinyl itself is in really good condition. Literally flawless. This album got a lot of hype last year after the infamous TikTok. It's undeniably a great album. Next up, we got maybe a little bit of a disappointment for me. Freddie Gibbs and Madlib Pinata. I think this is the 70 edition, just with an alternative cover. I really thought that this would be different in some way. They released this for Record Store Day initially, and then I think it got a general release as well, which kind of, that always disappoints me. I have it just on a different pressing, and yeah, this is one of my all-time favorite pressings. You've got like the splatter black like ring in the middle, sort of gives off zebra vibes. I would say, in my opinion, this is Freddie Gibbs' best work. And after that we have Alfredo, his album with The Alchemist last year. Incredibly good project, incredible instrumentals by The Alchemist. And this is on one side of vinyl, so it's like clear with these like green stripes. This was the Vinyl Me Please pressing. I'm not part of Vinyl Me Please. Yeah, I bought this for resale for a fair amount of money, but it's just an album that I had to own, so really glad I got this one. And next up we got another classic album, and that is Fugees, The Score. Gutted I'm missing out on seeing them later in the year. This one is on a orangey brown vinyl. Really nice. If you've got to this point in the video, make sure you subscribe and leave a comment telling me what your favorite record so far is. Next up we got G. There's only one artist in here, and that is Gorillaz. Starting up with Plastic Beach. This is the picture disc. Incredibly with this, I wanted to get Plastic Beach. I was looking for the different variants, and then I saw that there was a picture disc. I just gave it a quick Google search, and they actually had some left on their web store. I was like, mate, I'm getting that, so I did. Yeah, and this is a double-sided picture disc, as you can see. Luckily enough, my experience with picture discs are pretty decent so far. I know that a lot of people complain that they wear out quite quickly, but I've never had that experience, and I don't play this so much that I'm too worried about it getting worn out. Next up we've got the Song Machine box set. If you haven't already seen, I did a video opening this, which is up there. Came with like all of this artwork. The actual vinyl itself is in this book, but yeah, it comes with loads of art print. Another thing I loved is the fact that it came with this little Song Machine box. And it also comes with all of these singles, which are every single song on the original album. Each of the colours got like teal there. And then finally we just have another copy of Song Machine, which, to be honest, I never ever listened to this. I got it from Rough Trade. It's got this nice light colour here. If I'm ever going to listen to that album, I always listen to the box set. Definitely looking to add some more Gorillaz to my collection though. On to H, Horse Meat Disco, part of the Glitterbox label, I believe. Got this as a Christmas present last year. Really sick packaging. Love the front cover on this lovely pink vinyl as well. Really nice. J, we've got James Bay, Chaos and the Calm Live. I've never ever listened to this. Apparently it's numbered as well, which I never ever knew. Like James Bay, saw him live. He was really good. Next up of the J's, we have James Blake and Friends That Break Your Heart. This came out last week as I record this. I didn't pre-order it initially, but I heard it. I was like, I've got to have a version of that. I saw this on Discogs on this lovely silver vinyl as well. Next up, we have one of my favorite electronic albums of all time. An album that I've really fallen in love with the last year. Jamie XX in Colour. This was actually a 5-year re-release. It came on 3 different colours. I think it was green, blue and orange, and the colour I got was the one I wanted, which was orange. Love the album, really happy to have it. Next up we got another hip hop classic, The Blueprint by Jay-Z. It's just on black vinyl, but yeah, super sick, and gotta have this on vinyl, man. Following that we have an album that was on my Vinyl Regrets video. And I don't regret this too much, but when I went to San Francisco 2 years ago, I went to Amoeba Music, saw this, I was like, oh my god, sick, there's a vinyl version of this. Really expensive, it was $50 I think, or bought it. Now that I've got home, I realise it was a bootleg. The 2 vinyls are on really weird colours as well. I've got this one, which is like clear with like this green smoke, which is nice, but again, totally random for the album. And then you have this pink as well. Next up we got a great album from last year, What's Your Pleasure by Jessie Ware, and this is the version on white vinyl, which is so nice. Ages after it got released, I looked up where I could get it. Everywhere had sold out. Luckily enough, my dad had bought 2 versions and he was just like, look, you take the white version. So I did. Next up, we have an album that I think went quite under the radar last year. J Hus, Big Conspiracy. This is a Record Store Day exclusive. Love the fact that it came with this little cover that you can take off. And there's 2 plain black vinyl and 1 white one as well. There you go. I feel like he's overdue a like banging album. Just overall a sick artist. And now concluding the J's, we got a recent album, Jungle, Loving It in Stereo. Heard the single leading up to this, Keep Moving. I was like, sick, they're going in a disco direction. Unfortunately, I was a little bit disappointed with the final package. I think that they didn't go so much down that route. This is a Rough Trade exclusive on this like really crispy red vinyl. Next, K, and there's a few good ones in here. Starting off with Kali Uchis. Isolation was her first work that I really took notice of her. Loved her, a lot of her stuff since as well, but in my opinion nothing has got as good as Isolation for me. Really happy to get this on blue vinyl. I know a lot of people on TikTok really love this one. A great album. Next up, I think is one of the most underrated albums to come out of the UK, and that is Kano, Hoodies All Summer. This has insane packaging, unbelievable artwork on here as well. Inserts all have stuff as well. Kids playing with guns, kids on the street. Plain back vinyl. Just an album where I think the what colour vinyl it is doesn't make a difference to me. It's too good not to have it. Next up is an artist that I'm gonna have to divide out of this video because he probably is the artist that I have the most records from, and that is of course Kanye West. So starting off, we have The College Dropout. This is a classic. How many of Kanye's albums aren't classics? I think my personal favourite of his, Late Registration. I think it did everything that College Dropout did, just a little bit better. All of these are just on plain black vinyl, by the way. Next up, we got another great album by him, 808s and Heartbreak. This is on this mad fold out thing. Such cool artwork in there. It's got the CD in there as well. Next up, we have an album that I think many consider to be a masterpiece, and that is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. This comes out into 3. It's got a poster inside. It has different inserts so you can actually change the album cover on the front. But yeah, this is one of those examples where it probably doesn't need to be over 3 different vinyls, and actually a lot of people complain about the terrible quality. You can't not own this album, man, if you're a Kanye fan. The Life of Pablo. Got this at the same location, Amoeba, that I got the Jay-Z record at. Again, didn't realise it was a bootleg. The 2 sides of vinyl. One's like this gold, like a bit of orange in there as well. Really nice. And then the other is this purple. Definitely one that I'm pleased to own. Following that, you have Ye. Great album of his, very short. Kids See Ghosts, which I like a lot, but there was a version released for Black Friday, I think it was last year, on pink vinyl that I really want to own, so I'm going to keep an eye out for that one because not many of Kanye's albums are on any special vinyl. And then following that, probably one of his worst albums, Jesus Is King. I just saw this on Urban. I was like, mate, I've just got to get it, complete the collection and all that. But yeah, on one side of vinyl as well, sort of looks like the album cover, blue vinyl. I think this is pretty sick, to be fair. Not my favorite of his. Moving on with the K's, we have K. Kendrick Lamar, another fantastic artist. Starting off, we have Good Kid, Mad City. Such an unbelievable album, especially for how early in his career he was. Probably one of the most influential albums of all time. Following that, we have my personal favourite album of all time, To Pimp a Butterfly. Again, just on standard black vinyl, but the packaging for this one's really nice as well. And the B-sides from that are all put onto this album, Untitled Unmastered. And then my least favourite Kendrick album, Damn. In my opinion, not his best work. Even Kendrick's worst is still better than a lot of people's best, so had to get this one for sure. And following that, we have Black Panther. As you can see, this one is sealed. And moving on to the L's now. Next up, we have another 10 out of 10 album, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. This is just on plain black vinyl, but yeah, Miseducation is one of my all-time favorite albums. A 10 out of 10 for me. Next to the L's is Leanne LaHavis and her self-titled album. There's singles leading up to this. I knew it was going to be good, so I had to pre-order, and I ordered 2 copies, a signed copy which I gave to my dad, and this copy which is on this lovely mint green pressing. I was looking through all the different variants, and this was the one that seemed to be the hardest to come by, so I was like, let's get that. But yeah, it's a lovely pressing and a lovely album as well. Next of the L's, we have Little Simz and her first album, Grey Area. Fantastic album. Yeah, this was good because I went and got this on Record Store Day in 2019. Bought it from Rough Trade just thinking, oh, I just need to buy a record. I hadn't got much from there, so. And then I came back and realised this was actually white. Great album, lovely vinyl pressing. So happy days. Next up, we have Little Simz again and her latest album, Sometimes I Might Be an Introvert, and I've actually got 3 copies of this, so let me take you through them. Firstly, we got this one from Rough Trade. This is black and yellow, and yeah, this one was like 1 in 500 I think, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get that. Super cool to have a split vinyl. I think this is my only split vinyl. Next up, we have a signed copy. You can see our little signature there. And this one is red. This really nice sort of translucent red copy, which is sick. And then finally, we have this copy from Asahi, a Japanese record pressing plant based in Scotland, I believe. This is limited, numbered, has the Japanese band, which I love. And yeah, Japanese pressings are meant to be of a higher quality as well. And this one is 1 of 200 and it is number 117. I can't even remember what color this is, but I just want to keep this as mint as possible. Now moving on to M. First of all, we got Mabel, Ivy to Roses. There's not a lot special about this aside from it being signed. I actually have this listed on my Discogs at the moment because I got bought it and I've never listened to it, and I'm not a huge Mabel fan either. If for some reason you do want to buy this, then check the link in the description for my Discogs. Next up, we got my favorite album of 2020. That is Circles by Mac Miller. This album was just beautiful. I had to order the vinyl even though it was quite expensive to get here. This is the clearest vinyl I've ever seen. Bang. Look at that. Every time I look at it, and especially on camera, I'm like, that is ridiculous. Like, you can see me through it. You could see me through it. The fact that it is that clear works so well with the album. In fact, I loved it so much that I had to buy the Swimming in Circles box set as well. Comes with Swimming and Circles, the albums. Comes with posters as well. Swimming on this like dark blue vinyl, which is really nice. And then you've got Circles, light blue vinyl, really nice. And yeah, the box set is just so nice. It's so well made. Then you have this book as well, which has got loads of images of him inside. Overall, just an incredibly well put together box set, and yeah, one that I love. Next up, we got Migos and Culture One. Never rated a lot of what Migos did after this album. I just think Culture One was fantastic. Really nice vinyl as well. This like sort of dark red vinyl. Michael Kiwanuka and the album Kiwanuka. Beautiful soul singer, and this is on this lovely pink vinyl, and it's got incredible artwork in the vinyl as well. This one's worth a lot of money now as well, so I'm really glad I got it when I did. Next up, an artist that I hadn't heard until last year when he sadly passed away. Gave this a listen on a video which you can see up here. Really enjoyed it, and that is MF Doom's album Food. This is from HHV, who generally I've had a good experience of. I know people don't overly rate them. This is a really nice colour for a vinyl. It's like almost like a khaki green. We have this pink one as well. Next up, we have N, the first one that I ever got from Nas, I Rule the World single. One of the first vinyls I bought from a shop in Bath. Following that is Illmatic, one that I haven't really given a full proper listen to, but obviously has some of my favourites on there, like New York State of Mind. It's on this like clear vinyl. Again, another one from HHV. Following that, we've got God's Son. This is a Record Store Day version released last year. It's on this super sick blue vinyl, really nice light blue colour. Next up, another one I got from the same record shop, Frontin', featuring Jay-Z by Pharrell, just plain black vinyl single. Next up, we got an album that I just literally love from when we first heard it 10 years ago to now. Still think it sounds as good. Defamation of Strickland Banks by Plan B. Fantastic album, and yeah, love the vinyl as well. I love the label on here. Looks like an old record label. 10 years rough trade exclusive. Had to get my dad a copy as well because he loves this album. Next up, we got my only Post Malone. This is Beer Bongs and Bentleys. This is on clear vinyl as well. Next, we have another one of my favorite albums of all time. That is Purple Rain by Prince. This is a first edition UK pressing. If you haven't listened to Purple Rain, you need to listen to it ASAP. Following that, we have Queen and Night at the Opera. I'm not actually sure about what year this pressing is or anything. I probably should look into it. Another album I just love and one that I had to own on vinyl. For some reason, we've gone from Q to P again, but yeah, this is Pusha T, Daytona. Next up are two albums that I got sent in by a super fan. These are two albums that I've never actually listened to, but I'm definitely going to. Hail to the Thief by Radiohead, and also In Rainbows by Radiohead. Let me know if you'd like me to do a reaction to In Rainbows. Continuing with the R's, we have one of my favourite hip hop artists over the last few years, Run the Jewels, and this is their first project, Run the Jewels 1. I can't remember where I got this pressing from actually. This is such a nice pressing. Got the splatters in there, looks amazing. Obviously, I really want to own Run the Jewels 2, but unfortunately sold out. Last year for Christmas, got Run the Jewels 4, another fantastic album. This is on this amazing pink vinyl, like proper bright pink, really good. And then you've got this second one that is on this gold vinyl. That is the most insane gold vinyl, like literally that looks gold. That is the instrumentals as well, which is sick. Definitely one of my favorite ones in my collection at the moment. Now on to S's, got quite a few here, starting off with Slow Tie, Nothing Great About Britain. Probably one of my favourite artworks of all time. This is the indie exclusives one on white vinyl. Love this. I think it's such a beautiful pressing. He's gone on to great things now. Those things are this album here, Tyrone. Fantastic album. Probably my favourite album of the year. And this version is the one from his web store. It is red and yellow, I think. Firstly, you got this red, which is like an apple cherry red. And then you've got this yellow, and this is actually worth a lot of money now. Like this, of all versions of this album, this one's the most expensive one. I think this is like approaching 70 quid. And this is my second copy, signed, personally signed as well. Got this from Banquet Records. They did an exclusive signing. You could write a little message, and I just wrote, I bought 3 copies of this album because at the time I had, and he wrote, "Thank you, Ollie, we are number 1 because of you, love, Ty." This is on a clear vinyl, which is sick. This was the Indies exclusive version of this album. Hi, me again. We've got another pickup for S. Solange, Seat at the Table. Fantastic album from 2016. Again, another National Album Day pickup. And this is on this lovely white vinyl. Another album I thought I've just got to have that. Next up, we have one that again I've never opened before. This was a Record Store Day exclusive. 2,100 copies worldwide of So Solid Crew. 21 Seconds. Probably one of those ones that was a bit of an impulse buy on Record Store Day. Next up, we got this battered copy of Snoop Dogg Vapors. Don't really even know about the song, just saw this at the record store at the time and boy, I don't know why. Next up, we have another album that in my opinion is a 10 out of 10. That is Stevie Wonder, Songs in the Key of Life. Don't know when this variant is from. So I just bought it on Depop randomly one time and it is absolutely battered. The vinyl itself plays nicely. After that, we got this, Hotter Than July July. Again, another great album of Stevie's. Probably like to get an original copy if I could. Stormzy, Heavy as the Head. I think this is a fantastic project. Kind of went under the radar as well. This is on gold vinyl and it's like this, almost like bronze sort of gold. Next up, Sub Focus, Taurus. I got this back in the day when I didn't really have a vinyl player and I just loved the album. It's on 2 vinyls and it's only 4 songs. Next up is another one that I am so pleased that I got at the time, and this is SZA's album Control. Loads of people want it on vinyl and luckily enough I got this when it was available from Urban Outfitters, green pressing, which I hardly ever see anywhere else, so I'm so glad I got it. Right, tease, we're nearly there, we're nearly through. Drop a like if you're still going. First up, Tame Impala, The Slow Rush. This is one I'm really happy I got from Asahi, the Japanese band, which I love, and it's such a cool artwork, and I think it's a sick album to have the Japanese variant of, and it's on this lovely cream vinyl as well. Really nice color. Everything in this package feels super high quality, so yeah, I'm really happy with this one. I've seen they've come out with a like whole box set of the album. If I didn't have this, I'd definitely get that, but yeah, I love this so much, this Japanese variant. Moving on to one of my favorite artists from the last few years, Mr. Travis Scott. Got Rodeo here, fantastic sort of dark trap album. Love the cover as well. Yeah, just on plain black vinyl, but so cool to own. Following that, we got Birds in the Trap, one of my least favorite projects of his, but yeah, again, saw this on vinyl, had to get it. Next up is one that I was so happy to get. So around the release of this album, I saw this version come out and I didn't get it and I was gutted. Then when we went to America, along with the Biggie record, I also ordered this. Got the nice purple vinyl with the splatters in it. Astro World, which such a good album, still enjoy it a lot to this day. Yeah, cool to own a cool variant of that as well. Now moving on to a different section of purely Tyler, because Tyler has some of the sickest vinyls in my opinion. Starting off with Goblin, got the alternative cover on there as well. Cool artwork all around. This was certainly during the unapologetic Tyler stage, and yeah, got this pink colour vinyl as well. So yeah, I had to get this one because got to complete the Tyler stuff, you know. Next up, we got one that I got on Record Store Day last year. Again, you can watch that video up here if you want to check it out. Me getting this, I was so pleased to get it at the time. Cherry Bomb, and this is the Record Store Day variant, and it's this lovely cherry coloured vinyl. But yeah, I thought this was going to be super hard to get. In fact, the record store I went to only had 1 copy of this, so I was really pleased to get it. Next up, this. Oh, I love this album so much. I wanted this for ages. I even remember at the time I wasn't massively into vinyl. This album came out and I was like, I remember being able to see this and almost bought it, and I saw the price, I was like, nah, I don't like it that much. Little did I know, 2 years later I'll be paying nearly 100 quid to get this. One of my all-time favorite albums. Such a good album, and it's on this lovely orange vinyl as well. I had some Christmas money from my grandparents, so I treated myself to this, and yeah, I don't regret it at all. I didn't make the same mistake twice, you'll be pleased to know. When I heard about Igor coming out, I just was like, I'm just gonna have to pull the trigger. So I saw this variant come out and I was like, I've just got to get it. And this is the alternative cover variant, and then you have the vinyl itself, which is this mint green, spearmint green, I'd say. Really lovely colour, all on one side of vinyl. I think I have a pretty sick Tyler collection, if I do say so myself. Next up, we've got another section, probably The Weeknd. Firstly, we got Kissland, which was this lovely variant here. Really nice artwork, sick colour of vinyl as well. I have actually ordered House of Balloons, so hopefully that will be arriving in the coming months. Next up, we got the 5-year anniversary of Beauty Behind the Madness. Comes in really nice packaging. Then you got the beautiful vinyl press in here, which is yellow with splatters. So nice, looks so nice in real life. Following that, we got Starboy on this red colour pressing, translucent red. And then last but not least, one of his best, or his best album, I think, maybe tied with House of Balloons. After Hours, we got 2 pressings of this. Really nice packaging on this as well. We got this clear with red splatters, which is sick because it just looks like blood. Then we have the other version as well, and this is on this red with a black splatter. Only annoying thing is there were so many variants of this released afterwards with like the special edition, and it kind of ruins these versions because there's better versions out there. Next up, Wu-Tang Clan, Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers on this yellow variant as well. This is just one of those albums you can't not own. Following that, we've got the Numbers people now. 21 Savage and Metro Boomin, Savage Mode 2. In my opinion, one of the best trap albums in a while, and it's on this sick red vinyl, slightly translucent, which is cool. Then we got, of course, 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying. This was one of those ones that got released on that HMV record store day on this cocaine cream color vinyl. Then finally, of the brand new vinyl, we have the only movie soundtrack, and that is Tim Burton's A Nightmare Before Christmas. Probably my all-time favorite film, has a lot of good childhood memories. This was the Mondo exclusive vinyl, came out, I missed it totally, was so disappointed I missed it. Then I found it on Depop. It was so expensive, but I was just like, you know what, I can't not own that. This comes in 2 sick colors. You've got the Sally swirl here. And what I love about this album is it literally runs along with the movie, so you get the actual songs from the soundtrack plus the instrumental songs as well from the movie, and it flows like the movie. It's like listening to the movie. And then this one is like insane, like a mix of colors that just blends so well. The other side as well. Hi, you would have seen me interjecting throughout the video. This is a couple days later because that last recording just took so long. But we are going to talk about singles now. These are in no particular order. First up, we got Denzel Curry, Balls on Parade. This is a Spotify session, and it's a cover of Rage Against the Machine that came out for Record Store Day last year. Next up, we got this little 7-inch of Notorious B.I.G, the duets, and I think this is Running Your Mouth, but I'm not quite sure. Just a cool little exclusive that came with that one. Next up, we got Diana Ross and Upside Down, an absolute disco classic. This came in one of those record mystery boxes ones. Same as this, I'm Coming Out by Diana Ross, I Want You Back by Michael Jackson, Just Called to Say I Love You by Stevie Wonder. This is a cool little one. This is My Future by Billie Eilish, but it's a little picture disc. It's got like an anime cover. Thought it was really, really cool, so I had to get it. Next up, we got Sunflower from Post Malone and Sway Lee. This was the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse song. Next, we got 3 copies of Coldplay Christmas Lights, and these are on blue vinyl, which is sick. I actually bought 2 copies for my dad last Christmas, and he ended up buying 2 copies for me. Hopefully I'll be able to sell these this Christmas. Next, we got a Record Store Day 2019 exclusive Anderson .Paak Bubbling. This is on this like champagne color vinyl, and on the B side is the remixes, which is sick. Next up, we got a Record Store Day 2020 exclusive No Time to Die, the Billie Eilish song for the James Bond films, and this is on this sick grey smoke color, which is awesome. It might be my favorite Bond song of my era. Next up, we got Everybody Dance by Cedric Gervais featuring Nile Rodgers. This is on this little orange vinyl, which is really cool. What's even cooler is it comes with this little signed insert, signed by Nile Rodgers, which is amazing. Next up, we've got the charity single recorded for Liverpool Football Club last year, You'll Never Walk Alone. This was recorded by Lana Del Rey. Obviously, I'm a massive Liverpool fan, so when I saw this come out, a Liverpool vinyl, I had to get straight on it. But it's a really beautiful version of the song. Next up, we got Watermelon Sugar by Harry Styles. I actually ordered this on black vinyl, and then this version came out and I was gutted, so I had to order this as well. This like little watermelon coloured vinyl, which is amazing. Just a great single in my opinion. Next up, we've got a sick one. This is Dirty Old Bastard, Return to the 36 Chambers, and this is a little 25th anniversary edition set. It comes in this awesome case, as you can see there. Got like the little artwork thing of Brooklyn. This is so well designed. Everything in it is amazing, and these are every single on that album on these different color variants. We got some on blue, some on white, and some on yellow, which is so sick. This whole set is amazing, and it's also number 2,991 out of 3,000. Next up, we got a little bonus one that came with my Michael Kiwanuka vinyl, and this is Tom Mitch and Michael Kiwanuka Money. Just a plain black little single, but nice to be included with the album. And then finally, we've got a few miscellaneous vinyls that I don't really know about, but I got these all together. Got some Soul to Soul, Grandmaster Flash. Nothing too interesting, but yeah, not singles, but these also need a category of their own, and these are my shaped vinyl, and these are amazing. I'd never really heard of these until TikTok, but saw these came out on Stone's Throw. We've got Knowledge and No Worries, so nice. So you can see you've got Anderson .Paak there, and then the other side, Knowledge. It's amazing. It's so cool that it's shaped. The little actual song is in the middle there. It is so cool on the turntable. Next, we got Tyler the Creator and the Prophet, and it's this peach vinyl for the single Peach Fuzz, and this is another one that's just sick. Obviously kind of works the same as a picture disc, but yeah, the song's in the middle here, but just looks so sick, and it's like literally bizarre to look at on the turntable. And finally, to end this video, we've got some old records here that I keep in this little vinyl cabinet to my right. Firstly, we got this Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton John. This is one of my favorite vinyls I've ever got. The artwork is amazing. Folds out into 3, as you can see, and this must be one of the earliest colored pressings I've ever seen. Now, you won't be able to see this, it looks just like plain vinyl, but it's actually like this translucent brown color, which yeah, literally must be one of the earliest colored pressings that I've heard of. And of course, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, just a classic album, so I had to own it. Next up, we got a couple of albums from George Clinton, just from my local record store. This was when I was listening to To Pimp a Butterfly and saw his work on it, and I was like, I'm just gonna have to see if I can find any of his vinyls in my local shop, so I got these two. Some of My Best Jokes Are Friends, and the other one is R&B Skeletons in the Closet. After that, we've got this Otis Redding, Sitting in the Dock of the Bay, which is just such a really nice soul album, and it's like a nice pressing as well. Just a great album. And then we have a few by one of my all-time favorite soul singers, Teddy Pendergrass. We've got TP here, and all of these are first pressings as well. Life is a Song Worth Singing, another great one, and they sound amazing on the original vinyl. And of course Teddy, which you might recognize, inspired the artwork for the Freddie Gibbs album Freddie. All amazing old vinyl. We've also got one more single to finish off, and this was, I think this was the first ever vinyl I got. It's this little Milo X Lotto comic book by Coldplay. It comes with this little comic, which is cool, and then you've got 2 songs, which is Hurts Like Heaven on one side and Us Against the World on the other side. Such a cool little picture disc. Kickstarted my whole collection, so it's a great one to end on. So take a breath, we've reached the end. Hope you have enjoyed. If you are new around here, make sure you drop me a subscription and leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it. Let me know what your favorites were in there. Let me know what ones I should get. Anything you want to let me know about my collection, leave it in the comments down below and I'll reply to you. My huge vinyl collection. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.